What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Equipped Live. My name is Will. I'll be your host today. And yeah, we're going to have a fun day talking all about audio. But since everybody's still rolling in, let's talk about some of the basics. First, for setup today, I'm doing a Mevo start via wired webcam mode into my computer. I've got a blue baby bottle microphone for my audio, which is going into my Go XLR and then back into my computer via USB. I've got two Lytra glows on either side of me, and in front of me, I have a lot. I've got a Logitech Stream Cam. I've got another Mevo Start that's connected via wireless webcam. I've got a Blue Yeti X. I've got a Blue Yeti Classic, and I've got a Blue Yeti Nano, as well as a Spark. So I've got them all in front of me. So if you have any questions about any of them, or you want to hear their demo, let me know, because we're all set up to do that. Cool. Good seeing everybody is coming in. What's up, Gordon? How you doing? So let's talk about, for those of you that missed last week, we are now doing the show once a week. We're going to be doing it Thursday only. So no more show on Tuesday, at least for the time being. We found that, if we condense it to one show a week, then we can do kind of more prep work to do demos and stuff like that. And also just have lots and lots of interactions with you guys. So that's really good also. Of course, you can find all of our socials down here, where we are actually starting to do more and more for the show on the socials. So you'll see that Willow link down there, and that'll bring you to our Logitech C Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. So definitely check that out. Follow, subscribe to all of that stuff, because the idea behind today's show is directly from Twitter, which I'll show right here. So yeah, we asked everybody, we said, during your streams, do you typically have more trouble with audio, lighting, or video? And audio won by a landslide. So we thought, hey, let's jump on the show today and talk about audio. One thing I will note is that Joe is not with us today. He's taking much deserved time off and hopefully relaxing. I'm sure that he is going to pop up in chat knowing Joe. But he will be back next Thursday, I think. So all good there. What's up, Chris? Chris saying, what's your main camera with that nice blurry background? This is actually a Mevo Start. A lot of people ask me about that because it's not typically what you see with a Mevo Start. There you go. Yeah, I've got the Mevo Start going into my computer via wired webcam mode, and I'm blurring it using NVIDIA Broadcast, which I can pull up here real quick. Yeah, NVIDIA Broadcast is really cool, and it actually ties into our show today because part of the G-Hub software for the Blue microphones uses some of the technology in NVIDIA Broadcast. But yeah, it does a great job at blurring the background. You can replace the background. Everything is all software. Thank you so much for the subscribe there. Very appreciated. What's up? Chow down food. What's going on? Nice little emojis there. Yeah, so nice little tweaks using NVIDIA Broadcast, which I've got right here. So if you haven't checked this out, if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you should absolutely check this out. You can do some similar effects if you don't have the NVIDIA Broadcast or without an NVIDIA card with like Stream FX, which is a plugin for OBS. But if you've got the graphics card, this works really, really well. You can get rid of background noise. You can add blur effect. You can do all sorts of really cool stuff. So definitely worth checking out. Let's see. So just to show you kind of like what's in front of me right now, let me see if I can pull this up here. How's everybody doing? Pastor Rick from Kansas, what's up? Kareem Cheese. Cream cheese, I've seen your commercial so many times. Thanks for joining us on the show. Your Logitech commercial, it's pretty solid. Welcome to the dojo, fam. Yeah, man. Here we go. So I've got StreamCam, Yeti X, Yeti Nano, and Yeti all connected to my Mac right in front of me. So yeah, if you have any questions about any of this stuff, let me know. Thanks for joining, man. My pleasure. Yeah, so I guess let's first talk about kind of like the basics behind each one of these. It's really a first kind of more a choice that's made via budget, right? Like if you have a very limited budget, then you're obviously going to want to go with like the minimal added features, as long as it still sounds good. And the good thing about Blue microphones is like the entire lineup sounds amazing. So obviously you can go up to the baby bottle and go even higher, and they get really, really, really nice and very expensive. But they also have the Snowball, which I don't even have, but it is like the most popular Blue mic. The Snowball is, and you'll probably see it a lot on like TikTok and stuff like that. Like people will hold it up like a mic, and it's very, very good. And I think that it's pretty affordable. Let me see if I can pull up the price here. But yeah, I think it's like $49. Yeah, $49, which is pretty solid. So sorry, that was maybe a little loud. But yeah, I think that it really depends on your budget. The great thing about audio is that as long as you sound better than like your built-in laptop microphone, then you're usually pretty good. And we've talked about this a little bit on the stream before, where audio is so important. Audio is almost more important than anything else, right? Like having the good video quality is great, having good lighting is really good, but if your stream doesn't have good audio, people won't stay in. So like you could have a stream that has 480p resolution, it can be like stopping and starting, but if it has clear audio, people are going to stay and hang out. So it is a very worthwhile investment to get something like a Snowball for $49.99, or even step up to the Yeti Nano at $99.99. And what's cool is now these three microphones that I was just talking about, the Blue Yeti X, the Blue Yeti Classic, and the Yeti Nano, they all have Blue voice capability, which, let's see, which really actually affects the sound a lot. Let's see. C. Briganti says, I have the Yeti Caster. Yeah, the Yeti Caster is really solid. This is the same mic arm as the one on there. The blue mic arm. It's the Blue Compass, which is actually really great. So, if I pull up audio here. Okay. So now my audio is coming from the Blue Yeti Nano, which is pretty solid. I mean, this is completely out of the box. There's no adjustments on top of it or anything like that. But yeah, we can turn on Blue Voice. And you tell me if you can hear the difference.
And now we're using Blue Voice. Or else we have echo. Test. Got Blue Voice effect on. Test.
What's up, Nasia? How you doing? We're just playing with blue mics. Nasia, do you have a blue mic? I know that you do a lot of good baking content, so mic is maybe less important for your streams, but definitely worth checking out. Because I think that we talked before about how it could really improve like the baking content if you are like showing a little bit of your personality through like voiceovers when you're talking about like the different things that you're adding in the recipe. Maybe you're adding whatever flour or chocolate chips or whatever, and you're saying something fun and entertaining about, you know, your experience as you're baking. And I think that that would really improve the content, because like content is really all about letting people get to know you. And so I think that's something to look into. What's up, Jim? Yeah, if you don't know, we are live, and I got to update this card for you guys, but we are live once a week, once a week on Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can find us on facebook.com/Mevo Camera. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/Logitech for Creators. What's up, Pastor? Ben Beckner in the house. What's up, Ben? How you doing? You didn't miss anything. We're just starting to play around with the blue mics. For those of you that are just kind of rolling in, I've got every USB Yeti except for the Snowball available to play around with. And I wanted to ask you guys about kind of your biggest tips and tricks with audio, because it's strange that so many people have difficulty with audio. You know, we did that Twitter poll that we were talking about earlier, and I was really kind of surprised to see that so many people had issues with audio. Typically, I set up audio once, and then I just use the same setup over and over again. But I'm curious, what are some kind of issues that you guys run into with audio, and then what are your best tips and tricks to get everything in line again? Let's go into Yeti X. All right. Honestly, I don't know. I like the classic a lot. Like, obviously, if you've been using the Blue Yetis for a while, you've probably had the Yeti X or the Yeti Classic for like a very long time. I think the very first Yeti Classic that I bought was maybe like 15 years ago, something crazy. The new models of the Yeti Classic can do more because they can work with G Hub and do stuff like Blue Voice, but you know, it's been a solid device for a very, very long time. All right, let me switch it in Melon. Oh yeah, that is a good point. I do want to bring up, I'm using Melon to do all of this. So I'm bringing in my second computer. I am switching cameras, sharing screen, all that stuff through Melon. Joe and I did a really fun demo last week of their new co-host feature, which is a lot of fun and super useful. And so I'm excited to play around with that more when Joe is back. But definitely check out Melon, because there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with it. It's really ideal if you have a very complicated setup when you're bringing in multiple people, because it's all web based. So like it's very light on your computer. What's going on, Jared? Blue Love, that's right. I think the thing with Blue microphones is like they've been like this staple of content creators for such a long time. Even predating Logitech for Creators, they've always been on top of it. So it's really nice that it's part of the Logitech Creators group, because it's such a perfect fit. All right, so let's turn this on. Voice effects off. change it around in Melon. All right. Let's see how this sounds. There you go. So this is the Yeti X. Go back into it here. And it just sounds solid. And it's about like a foot away from my face. So it's probably more ideal to be closer up. So let's see. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Equip Live. Let's see if we can do some effects. Does this sound better? That sounds pretty good. These are great, especially for me, because I'm not an audio expert at all. You know, we've definitely talked about this many, many times on the show, but as long as my audio sounds good, then I'm a big fan of just really easy to set up audio. And so the blue mics are really nice for that because they're very easy to set up. You can get more complicated if you want in the G Hub software, but I really like just the simplicity of it. Darren, I'm really sorry to hear that. Hopefully you're okay. But thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. It would be awesome to see some different mics being released, like a boom shotgun mic that uses passive power from the 3.5 jack. I don't know if the 3.5 jack, just hearing my echo here. I don't know if the 3.5 jack has any passive power. That would be really cool. But you only need passive power for XLR mics. But it's interesting that you say it would be cool to see a boom or a shotgun mic because so many people are starting to use those more and more, especially streamers. I think that there's some cool use cases. Like you could have your mic completely off camera, but it's still pretty close, right? Like if you have I think who is it? Harris Heller does that, where he's got his shotgun mic pointed at him as his kind of like stream YouTube setup. I think it makes a little bit more sense maybe when you're doing like YouTube videos or something like that. But I think that when you're doing live streams, thanks for that follow. When you're doing live streams, it's a little bit less important. Or at least I like having the mic in the shot when I'm doing my live streams, simply because, and I've talked about this before, I really like being able to kind of move and adjust the mic as I use it. It's kind of like this random. It's like how people like bounce their foot up and down. Just gives me something to do. But it's a good idea. I would like to see how Logitech creates a boom or a shotgun mic, because I'm sure that the team that makes these blue mics would have some really good ideas for that. Let's see. Ben saying I can't get G Hub to work on my M1. That's no good. It just stays at the startup screen. I have deleted and reinstalled with no change. Interesting. So the startup screen, as in like the logo spinning, or the startup screen where you like see all the items like that. I would also check, have you like approved all of the permissions and everything like that? Let me know. Let's see. Jared saying metered the power coming out of 3.5. He said it's around 3 volts. Interesting. Shiraz Castle. Having these controls in the UI is so good. Yeah, I completely agree. I think that the mics that have an excessive amount of buttons and switches on the hardware is less ideal because then you're changing when you're changing things, then you're kind of like asking for little knocks and stuff like that as you're adjusting the buttons, and nobody wants to hear that. So it is really nice to have the software controls. I think that especially because you can do so much more fine tuning with it. I'm like speaking and trying to speak into the active mic right now, which is the Yeti X. Um, but yeah, I really like it. I think the most kind of underrated feature though of Blue Voice is this mic test thing because this mic test feature lets you record audio samples. So you can just record your voice talking like how you would normally talk on your stream or your YouTube video or podcast or whatever. And then as you're making adjustments to the equalizer, signal cleanup, gain, all that stuff, that'll come through the recording, which is really, really wild. I actually wish that there was a lot more um, programs that had that kind of feature because it's super easy. Thank you for the follow. Let's see. Yeah, Ben, you're seeing the spinning logo. I would definitely check the permissions and make sure everything's allowed in the settings, and but it should work. I don't think that there's any issues with M1 computers, or at least known issues that I'm aware of. But we can take a look. We can figure it out. I love the G Hub. Yeah, G Hub is great. I think that people really underestimate G Hub, and like it's amazing how many people that I talk to that have um, G Hub devices that aren't aware of G Hub. So if you have a blue microphone, if you've got like a G mouse or a G keyboard, that's actually a lot of stuff that you can do with G Hub. So you can see right here, we've got all of these audio settings, blue voice, customize your lighting, everything. It's really nice. And then obviously you can go into Stream Cam, and then on my other computer that I'm got my lights on, that low latency screen capture. Um, yeah, if you have Lytra Glow lights, then those will show up in G Hub also. So you'll be able to set up your camera, your audio, your lighting, all in one spot, which is really convenient, really easy. Um, yeah, it's pretty sick. I'm glad you like it too. Let's see how everything links together. Yeah, it's really nice. That I mean that's the goal, right? We're trying to have a very cohesive unit where you can get all of these Logitech for Creators products and just use them all together for the best possible experience. Um, so yeah, but in terms of audio, obviously it matters what you're using, and it really a lot of it depends on the budget that you have available. But if we go over these mics that you've got in front of you right here, we've got the Yeti Nano is the cheapest for $99.99. The Yeti Classic is $129.99, and the Yeti X is actually on sale right now. So what you're hearing right now is the Yeti X. This is now on sale for $139.99. So if you are interested in picking up a Blue Yeti X microphone, now is a pretty good time. All right, let's see what else. Jared saying, Ben, check out, go to system preferences, security, privacy, and checkbox, anything related, referencing GHub. Nailed it. This is why I love you guys. I'll say something that is not as useful, and then you guys will fill in the blanks for other people. It's helpful. It's so much better than Elgato, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I'm really glad that G Hub is as good as it is, and they're always improving it, and we're always, of course, adding new products to work with it and everything like that. So, you can always expect better and better things. Nobody on Facebook? Good. We're trying to move everybody over to Twitch. If you're new to the show, first off, obviously, welcome. How you doing? This show is all about talking about Logitech for creators products. We tend to talk a little bit more about just tech in general, as well as just production tips and tricks and various tech like that. But welcome to the show if you're new. And if you're not on Twitch, definitely head over to Twitch because it's a better experience. That's where most of the community is. It's also better quality on Twitch. So twitch.tv/Logitech C is where you can find us. All right. So we've got Jared in the house. We've got Ben in the house. We've got Gordon. Got some new people. Good seeing you. We've got Darren for a little bit. We've got Nasia. So you guys are all the regulars. First off, welcome the new people because we got to bring in more people to the group. Give them nice warm welcomes and also let us know, you OG people, let us know uh how you get the best audio for your streams or for your recordings. Are you using USB microphones? Are you using XLR microphones? I've actually got Spark here, which I haven't shown. Yeah, what are your tips and tricks? There's a Spark. This is actually a pretty awesome mic. Like I think I would buy this mic um just for the look because it is really cool to have that just black on black, matte black everything. It's a good look. And then also another kind of blue voice device is the G733 headphones, which are really solid. All right, let me switch mics real quick. All right, so now we're back on the baby bottle. Let's see. Need to have a G Hub tab in the Mevo app. Ooh, that's a good idea. It's a very good idea. Or maybe we need to have the Mevo app in G Hub. One or the two, for sure. Let's see. Switch over to Classic. Let's do it. We'll do blue voice. And mute the baby bottle. Okay, and now this is the Classic. Let me see if I can hear it here. That's pretty solid. So all of these are set to cardioid mode. Which, let me share my screen here. So here are the polar patterns. This is for the Yeti X, but it's similar polar patterns for all of the Yetis. So cardioid is obviously what I'm set to because I'm right in front of the mics. But these are great for all of these different situations. We've had a lot of people that used to ask us, which one is great for like meetings and conference rooms and everything like that, because you have people, of course, all around the table. And thankfully, the Yeti X and the Yeti Classic have this bidirectional mode, which allows for people both in front and in back of the microphone to be speaking. And then if you have people all around you, then you can do, omni mode or even stereo mode if you really wanted. But yeah, lots of really good options. And the Yeti Classic has all of the same ones as I was talking about. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with both mics. Let's see if I can move this around here. There we go. Cool. Let's jump into some more questions. Jared saying, seriously, I have differencing streams where I use built-in mics for some things. I have Comica / Rode body packs, or I use varying Yeti mics, streaming lecture halls, auditoriums, podcasts, interviews, etc. All different use cases. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing productions like on the go and you're doing a lot of different productions, you probably have a lot of microphones. When I used to do different types of productions on the go, then I used to do like, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 15 different microphones. But thankfully, most people are not doing that level of production. But yeah, you definitely need more options if you're doing shoots on the go. What up, Tunis? Hopefully I said your name right. How you doing? Hey guys, I'm trying to stream to YouTube, but I'm unable to do so. It keeps telling me to check your network. I have no problem streaming to Facebook Live. What do you suggest? I guess first things first is, what are you streaming with? Are you using the, I guess you're on Facebook, so you're in the Mevo group. So if you're trying to stream to YouTube with the Mevo app, I would check to try and stream via RTMP versus streaming using the API button. So that's what I would go to. And I think we have a help article on that also. So if you go to help.mevo.com, let's see if I can pull it up. I need Joe here so I can have someone like looking at chat while I pull up things. But yeah, let's see. Stream live to YouTube. All right, here we go. Pull up this window so you can check it out. There we go. Streaming live to YouTube. So if you have to stream to YouTube via API, you need to have 50 subscribers. And then you can have up to 75 viewers. But you can also stream via RTMP. And if you stream via RTMP, you shouldn't have the restrictions. So that's what I would try doing first, RTMPing to YouTube. And if that doesn't work, then I would check to see if you have it enabled also, because in YouTube, a lot of the time streaming is disabled by default. So you can go into the YouTube settings in YouTube Studio and enable it from there. Cool. So let me know if you have follow-up questions on that. Let's see, what lights are you using for the purple background? White looks great. So I am using Govee lights back here. So this is the Govee LED strip. This is the Govee like standing light or something like that. I don't know. You can find it on Amazon. It's like $120 or something like that. But yeah, I'm a big fan. And then these are actually set to blue or to white. And then I have floodlights that are doing the blue that is actually turning out purplish. But yeah, that's what I'm doing for lighting. And thanks, by the way. Let's see. Thanks, Jared, for welcoming. Good team player there. You're saying you're using your Android tablet. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really, unfortunately, it doesn't doesn't really give us any more insights into what you're doing, because it shouldn't be different using Android or iOS phone or tablet. It should be the same experience because it's the same app. So what you need to let us know is, are you doing RTMP from the Mevo app? Are you doing API? Do you have YouTube streaming enabled on your YouTube account? How many subscribers do you have? All that information would be really helpful. Let's see. First time watching? Well, thanks. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any questions, so I guess because there are a fair amount of new people here, this show is all about kind of talking tech and answering questions. So if you have any questions about streaming or recording content, just being a creator in general, let us know. Like, if I can't answer the question, there's definitely somebody in chat that can. So definitely shoot any questions our way. And then now I'm going to switch back to my baby bottle. There we go. So yeah, we're jumping all over the place. It's a super hot day here in California. Let's see. Daryl saying, good day. What is up, Daryl? Nice to have you here. How you doing? Ready to purchase a new computer / laptop. Should I consider a gaming laptop if I plan to do editing of my worship services? That's a good question. I mean, I think that it depends on kind of how complicated your editing needs to get. If you're doing like a lot of color correction and you're adding like animations and graphics and stuff like that, then you will need a more advanced computer. But if you're doing just kind of simple edits and you've got like maybe 1 to 3 timelines of video, then you probably don't need a gaming laptop. A lot of editing that you can do can actually be done online. So, we're using Melon obviously to do this streaming. And the reason that Melon is great because it's all done in the web browser. And since it's done in the web browser, it's a lot lighter load on the computer. So you can do this with video editing as well. And I'm going to pull up a good example. So Streamlabs has a product called Oslo, which I'm pulling up here. And this allows you to edit video in the web browser. And so this is very, very lightweight on your computer because it's all done online, versus like something like Final Cut or Premiere Pro, which are going to be a lot harder for your computer, right? Yeah, Jared, super hot in Cali means 85 plus. Yeah, facts. I actually don't even think it's that hot today, but it is really hot. So yeah, Oslo is really great. They have a free plan, and they also have a paid plan if you want to get more and more advanced. But I will say that you probably don't need to go for a gaming laptop, especially if you want to save some money. But yeah, of course, like the more money you spend, the better the computer typically is. In terms of recommendations, it's tough. I don't know. There's Dell always makes pretty quality laptops. And then obviously Macs are always a good way to go. They're pretty solid for video editing. But it also depends if you're in the Mac ecosystem or you're in the Windows ecosystem now, right? Let's see. We are on 20 days of 95 plus degrees there. That's rough, man. That's really hot. No fun. It's also worse in this room right now because like I have so much tech that's on right now. I think my desktop computer alone probably increases the room temperature by like 15 degrees, especially when I'm streaming. And then obviously the AC has to be off, otherwise you're gonna hear it in the mics. So that's no fun either. Yeah, my pleasure, Dale. Yeah, also, let us know the kind of like budget that you're working with. I think you can do a lot more with a computer that is like 12 to $1,400 versus a computer that is like $800 typically. All right. Let's see what else. Try out the StreamCam mic also. Let's give that a go. So the StreamCam mic is going to be a little bit worse because it's further away, and it's also obviously not a built to be just a mic, but still worth trying out, right? Let's see. Mute this mic. All right, now we're using the StreamCam. Let's see how it sounds. StreamCam. It's actually pretty solid. So even though the StreamCam is further away than my Blue Yetis, it still sounds decent. I think you can hear my computer fan though, which is not great. All right. Back to your questions. Jared saying, if you're a Windows Linux guy, I'd recommend a Dell business class machine. Yeah. Get an M1 Mac Mini, $699. Yeah, I think the M1 Mac Mini is a really solid choice. I've been recommending that a lot to people recently because it's a little lower price than some of the other entry stuff that's in Mac. And also, I don't know about you. This is actually a good question. I want to know your feedback on because I love using like TV screens. Like if you can get an OLED 43-inch, that's awesome. But even not OLED, just regular 4K TV, I really like using those over regular monitors. And so Mac Minis and the Mac Studios are always something that really interests me versus doing like the iMac or a Mac laptop. But I'm curious, what are your thoughts on monitors? Do you go for kind of like a smaller monitor? Do you go ultra wide? Do you go 4K TV? What do you do? I think that a lot of people are buying monitors for the wrong reasons. Like, you shouldn't be buying an ultra wide because it looks cool. And like, if you're a gamer, then you're going to see like 3% of all games are actually workable with an ultra wide. And then there's other people that buy really expensive, high refresh rate screens. And unless you're doing some really competitive gaming, I don't understand why you would do that. My pleasure. I have about 780 subscribers, and I'm using my cellular network directly to stream. So cool. So you've met the subscriber threshold. And let's see, you should be able to use the API. So I would definitely check to see if you have YouTube streaming enabled in YouTube Studio, and then also check if you can stream via RTMP to YouTube. I think that that's probably the best way to go. Exactly, exactly. Until you have a studio display, you won't know the difference. It's true. And even that, I mean, like, that's a crazy purchase, right? Like, that's, what is that, like $1,500 or something like that? It's not a cheap screen. And then, if you get that, then hopefully you're doing some serious video editing. Because that's all about, like, color accuracy and everything. All right. I'm surprised so many people asked on Twitter about audio. I guess that they just didn't show up because there hasn't been a lot of audio questions, guys. I'm surprised. I've got everything all set up and there's still just not many questions. Let's see, what are we using now? We're using the stream cam. Let's switch off the stream cam. Also, something I will say about the baby bottle is that for XLR microphones, it really depends on both the microphone itself, but also the mixer. Like a lot of people will buy these cheap inputs. Let me show you one. Like this is a good choice. It's a Pile XLR. So this will input phantom power into your XLR mic, and then you can plug it in via USB. I like this because for the Mevo, when I'm on the go, this can plug directly into the Mevo via USB. So that's really useful. You can do, it's USB-A, but you can just do a USB-A to USB-C adapter. And that way you can get that XLR microphone directly into your Mevo when you're on the go. Let's see. Yeah, let me see if I can send that to you here. I don't know if I can email it to you right now, but I can certainly put it in chat. Go back to that page. Let's see, help.mevo.com. The good thing about helpmevo.com is it actually is SEO'd really well. So you can do a Google search typically for all of the stuff that you're interested in doing with the Mevo. And it should pop up with a help article towards, at least towards the top of the results list. But here we go. Let me put this here for you. There is that help link. So you can check that out, help.mevo.com. In that article, it's streamed to YouTube Live. All right, let's see. Chart saying gaming monitor, monitor that works with your GPU for the most part, not applicable to Apple. True. But it seems like Apple's doing a bigger push with the GPU with the M2, which makes me think that they're getting ready to do more XR stuff because you need more GPU power if you're doing XR. And up until now, they have not cared at all about GPU. So it's interesting how that's developing. G-Sync or FreeSync, depending on NVIDIA or AMD. Yep, and absolutely no tracing, ghosting, and awesome image response. Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know how much those help, G-Sync and FreeSync. I haven't messed around with it too much. I'm not a big gamer, but I feel like I see that on almost every monitor, and I'm not sure how big of a difference it is. I think the bigger difference, especially if you're gaming, is that refresh rate and response time. But it's definitely a good point. Cool. Yeah, I can hook you up with a link there, Daryl. No problem. I'm just jumping around all over the place today. Let's see. You can go over to streamlabs.com. If you didn't know, streamlabs.com, if you go and streamlabs.com and then hover over products, it'll list all of the Streamlabs products, which has a lot that I think that people generally don't know about, like Streamlabs Studio, Melon, Oslo, Willow, and Crossclip. So Oslo is the free editing software that I was talking about, or not software, I should say. It's more web-based software. I don't know. But yeah, here's that. Oslo.io. And of course, part of it is free, and then part of it is paid. It really depends on all the features that you want to use. But it's very good. It's very easy to use. It's great if you need to like work with somebody else on the edit, which is typically what happens, especially if you have like a team that does like marketing, stuff like that. Cool. All right, everybody. So what microphone are we on now? This is the problem with having 7 microphones in front of me is just figuring out which one I'm actively using. Let's see. Baby bottle. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat the baby bottle. And it's actually amazing the difference in sound depending on how close it is to your mouth. Cool. Like if you hear it from here versus hearing it like a foot in front of me, it's such a big difference. It's a solid mic though. We've bounced around from a lot of the Blue XLR microphones. We did the Blue Bluebird, we did the Spark SL. Obviously, we've got all of the Yetis that we've used. I think I'm gonna have to try and find a Snowball just so I can demo that, because I know that a lot of people really, really like the Snowball microphone because it is really cheap and it sounds really, really good. So we're gonna have to see if we can get one to try out on the show. I also think that I'm gonna switch up between the gear a lot more often than I have been in the past. Like I've been using this Mevo Start for my video for like the longest time because it is really good and the colors are solid. Like I like it a lot, but I just want to show you guys the difference between the Mevo and the StreamCam, and then we'll bust out some other Logitech webcams as well. Let me see if I can hide this audio. There we go. All right, people. Let me jump into some of our regular stuff real quick because I didn't talk about this in the beginning. But if you're interested in testing out some brand new Logitech products before they're released, so you get sneak peeks of what we're working on. Sometimes you'll get to receive a physical product, a prototype of what we're working on. Sometimes we'll send you images of different designs that we're debating on. We'll ask you about your feedback on packaging, software, firmware, lots and lots of stuff that we're working on. I've already started working with many of the viewers that are on the show, and you guys have been giving us the best feedback and so great to work with. So I really encourage you, if you're new to this channel, new to the show, then check out this link. Either copy that link down, take a screenshot, or just take a picture of that QR code, and that'll take you to our survey, which will ask you about how you create your content, how often, links to your content, all that stuff. And that is so we can pair you up with the best possible product, something that you can give great feedback on. So if you're using, some kind of standard ring light and we're working on some lighting product, then you'll be able to give your feedback and it'll be really, really helpful feedback for us. So check out that link. You can find it also on all of the videos on youtube.com/Logitech for creators. And that's where you can find every show as soon as it stops being live. So definitely check that out and subscribe if you haven't already. And then last, we've got Host React. And this we've done now 3 times. And it has been a lot of fun. And so if you haven't checked this out, obviously you can go check it out on youtube.com/Logitech for creators. But basically what this is we will ask you to submit your content or your links to your content and pictures and videos of your setup. And then we'll review it live on the show. And this lets us talk to you about the different products that you're using and why you're using them. It may let us recommend some different products to kind of improve your setup, and also lets us kind of just give you some publicity for your channel and for your content, get more people following. So if you're interested in that, check out the videos on YouTube, and then send us an email to equiplive@logitech.com with subject Host React, and we will get you on a show in the near future. Cool. All right, let's see if we got any more questions before we head out. We've got Rick saying, hello, what is up, Rick? How you doing? Nice of you to join us. Can Mevo make the base that continually gives problems a purchasable replacement item? I don't know what you're talking about. Why go somewhere else to purchase the item if we can go straight to you guys? So You should be able to go to mevo.com to purchase stands. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, you can get the Mevo floor stand, table stand, and looks like fence clip mini as well. And it looks like all of them are in stock. So yeah, you shouldn't have any problem going to mevo.com and getting any and all of those stands. Let's see. Another question is, now that the Mevo is part of Logitech and the show is now not all Mevo, will Mevo continue to be pushed to a new level, or will it now be just one product over 1,000 Logitech items? So if you've paid much attention to Logitech, or actually most tech companies, they typically don't let working products die, especially if they have a big community around them like Mevo does. So we're always trying to improve our products, and we always want to make them better and better. So don't you worry. Even though the show is focused on all Logitech products, we still put a heavy emphasis on the Mevo. So yeah, if you go back and look at all of our episodes, we actually talk about Mevo a lot, and maybe like a lot more than every other Logitech for Creators product. So don't you worry, we're still going to focus a lot on the Mevo. And yeah, the Mevo team is still the Mevo team. It's just now part of Logitech. So it's all good there. Oh, you're talking about the base of the Mevo? Yeah, so the base of the Mevo, it can break if it's, hit by a baseball or something like that, which I think you can expect from most products. Most products, when they get hit from a baseball, just break entirely. The Mevo just has this nice base where if it does get hit by a baseball or something like that, like it'll just pop off, and the actual Mevo, the expensive part, is not damaged. In terms of actually selling that base replacement, we don't do that, because then we're encouraging you to, void the warranty, which we don't want you to do. We want you to have your warranty intact. But that being said, Jared is on top of it. There is a 3D print page where you can actually 3D print those parts. And there are actually a lot of people in the Mevo Facebook group that do sell these parts also. So you should definitely ask that question next week when Joe's back. He's more of the 3D printer expert. But yeah, there are lots and lots of really good options. My pleasure. We love Mevo too. A lot. I mean, I use the Mevo every single show because it is so solid. I can't talk about the Mevo even any more than I'm already doing. Like I talk about the Mevo constantly during the show and when I'm not doing the show. I also use it like all day, every day. So big Mevo fan myself. All right, cool. Looks we got through everything just in time. 11:59. We made it to the end, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back again next week on Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, check us out, twitch.tv/Logitech C. Also, go to this Willow link down here and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of those things, because that will allow you to vote on what we talk about during the show, because we're going to be doing more and more polls. Even though everybody voted for audio and there were still not that many audio questions. So, maybe we'll do it again. We'll see. But definitely follow that link down there. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week, and have a fantastic weekend. Try and stay cool, especially if you're in California. It's really hot. All right, guys. Take it easy.